This video is powered by, as always, entertainment. If you enjoyed this content, consider becoming a patron over on patreon.com/asalways for access to the Patreon exclusive podcast, The Kill Connor Clubhouse, early access to the Cinema Room podcast, being part of polls for future videos, and other early access material. With that said, please enjoy the video. "2018 was a fantastic year for video games, with the release of things like God of War, Detroit Become Human, Red Dead Redemption 2, and Kingdom Come Deliverance. 2018 had a lot of brilliant games, a lot of hidden gems, some ups and downs, and everything in between, and I think that it was a very interesting year for video games, in terms of what was released, but also in terms of games that were advertised and said to be releasing in 2019 and beyond. So in today's video, I wanted to kind of go over some of the games that are set to release in 2019, ones that we know the release dates for, ones we know are coming in 2019, but we don't know the exact dates for, and some things to look out for as well that might be dropping in 2019, maybe 2020, and maybe we'll get some more information for this year. So I thought I'd sit down and talk about it to open the new year, even though it's February. So I sort of missed the boat on this one. I think was meant to do this a while back, but you know, things came up, so we're doing it now, but that's fine. Let's go. So starting off in 2019, in January, we had the release of two major games that were the only two that were really on my radar from January, which was the Resident Evil 2 remake, which I'm still yet to play. I never played the original Resident Evil 2, but I'm really looking forward to playing this one. I think I'm going to stream it at some point, probably with Elva. We'll sit down and we'll play through the game on my channel, which I think will be a good time because horror games, you know how much I like them.
Hey viewers, and welcome to another Slender video.
So that'll be a good time, so I'm looking forward to doing that. But the other major one, of course, and the only game that actually matters this year, so this video is kind of redundant already, is Kingdom Hearts 3, which has consumed my life for the past week now, which is insane. I finished it, and me and Tyler are going to be sitting down to do a spoiler cast sometime soon. So if you want to know all of the ins and outs of Kingdom Hearts 3, our thoughts, our full breakdown, where we'll sit down for an hour or two just talking and picking apart Kingdom Hearts 3, stay tuned for that episode of the Cinema Room podcast, episode 3, which you can get a week early over on patreon.com/asalways for just $1. So it'll be out on Patreon on the 10th of February, which is this Sunday, and it'll be out on YouTube on the 17th of February. So if you're looking to get it as soon as you possibly can, that's just $1 over on patreon.com/asalways for a week's early access. But if you don't really care about when it comes out, it'll be out on YouTube, Spotify, SoundCloud, and iTunes on February 17th, when me and Tyler will break the whole thing down. On top of that, I'm going to work on some kind of review type video for Kingdom Hearts 3, which will be out at some point. I can't really put a date on it, but I'm going to try and figure it out. I'm going to try and work on it and get it out. I'm just looking at kind of what angle to go at this from. Probably I'll do it in sort of two parts. It'll be one video, but like I'll separate it. So I'll do a spoiler free at the beginning and then a full spoilers at the end, but then in the spoiler cast we'll go fully in depth on spoilers. So I'll try and work on that within the next few days and maybe get it out sometime next week. Now moving forward to games that aren't out already, we have February's games. Now, while I was researching this, I realized there were a lot of games coming out in 2019. All of the ones I've included on this list are on my radar currently, and I'm looking sort of to get them, but I might not get all of them. Some are higher up than others. If I've missed some that you're looking forward to, let me know in the comments, because I'd like to know what you're looking forward to that I might have missed out on in this video. So first up, a big day for some reason in February is the 15th of February. We're getting 3 games releasing on the same day, that being Crackdown 3, Metro Exodus, and Far Cry New Dawn. Now, I've got to say that Crackdown 3 has been I included that on this list simply because a lot of people on Twitter said they were looking forward to it. I'm not, personally. I'm probably not going to touch it, but people have been waiting for this for a really long time, and so I hope it's great. I hope you enjoy it. Let me know if you do, because I probably won't play it. Far Cry New Dawn is another one that I'm not fucking touching. Ubisoft seem to do this thing these days where they turn every one of their games into the same game, and Far Cry New Dawn is just Assassin's Creed Odyssey, but in Far Cry, it honestly looks like one of the most mundane experiences I've ever seen in a video game, and so I'm not going to be touching Far Cry New Dawn. If you want to and you enjoy these, you know, these churned out Far Cry games, good for you. I hope you have a great time. But for me personally, it's just not for me. I cannot deal with it anymore. But I thought I'd include it just to say it's coming out if you didn't know. And then the next one, the last one on that day, is Metro Exodus. Now, when I saw the gameplay demo and the trailers for this game, I thought it looked fantastic. Now, I've never touched the Metro franchise before, but I am thinking of getting into it and playing these games because they're very highly talked about. People really like them. So I thought it'd be worth playing at some point. Whether I stream it or not, I don't know. But I'm definitely going to play them, and I'll probably play Metro Exodus as well. But I kind of want to get caught up. I don't know whether it's the same story that continues across all the games. But regardless, whenever I play a game, I like to play the whole franchise. Some might say that's a problem. But I don't like to jump in with the newest installment. I like to play all of them, which was a bit of a nightmare when The Witcher 3 came out. And the last one coming out in February that I have on this list is Anthem. Now, I'm not going to play it. I've just realised every game I'm listing I'm not going to play. Well, it'll turn around, I promise. Anthem is one of those games that, when it was first announced, it looked like a very interesting concept. Like everything EA does, and everything these big companies do, sound like really interesting concepts. But Anthem, in execution, just looks so boring. It really does. The only MMO I've ever really gotten into was Destiny 2, and that was only for about a month before I just stopped playing it entirely and never looked at it again. Anthem doesn't look like one of those games that is really going to pique my interest. But I'll keep looking at it, and if it suddenly turns out that it's actually fantastic, then maybe I'll get it. But I probably won't, because I mean, it's just not for me. Also, those microtransactions that got leaked look really bad. But that's just EA. That's just what they do. Anyway. So next up, we've got the games coming out in March. And there's two on the list of games when I was doing my research that I thought were worth talking about. The first being The Division 2. The sequel to The Division. Obviously. First Division I had fun with during the beta. I remember me, George, and Tyler all streamed it, and it was a good laugh. I think I got the full release, but I didn't really get into it. I know Tyler really liked The Division 1, and The Division 2 hasn't really reeled him in because it just looks like the same thing again, which is what Ubisoft does. It's not really for me, but it's a game coming out this year, so I thought I'd give my brief opinion on it, which is what I'm doing in this video. So there's that one. The second one, coming on March the 22nd, is Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice, which is made by From Software, who made the Souls games, and I think it looks cool. I probably won't play it on release, but I think I'll probably play it at some point. I think it looks like a really cool game. There's not a lot of hype surrounding it from what I've seen online, but it does look like a very interesting game. I feel like I'll play it at some point, but I've never been a huge Dark Souls fan, although when I played Dark Souls on Horsey and Fox, it was a good time. I enjoyed the game, but it's never been, sort of the thing that I'm really focusing on, at the forefront of games that I'm buying. But it does look very interesting. From when I saw it at E3, I was like, this is cool. This looks like a cool game. So, maybe I'll give it a play at some point. Now, moving on, we have the April game. Coming out on the 23rd of April, we have Mortal Kombat 11, which I might buy. There's something about these types of games. Fighting games and racing games just grab my attention. I don't know what it is. I thought about buying Injustice when that came out. I never did, but I thought about it a lot. So maybe I will buy Mortal Kombat 11. I've always loved Mortal Kombat. So maybe I'll buy it. Maybe I'll stream a bit of it. I love violence. And the next one coming out in April on the 26th is Days Gone, a game which I think has been very confusing for me personally, because when it first was announced, I was like, this looks fucking awesome. And then it was like, oh, it's a PlayStation exclusive. All the PlayStation exclusives have been great. This one is bound to be great too. It was then delayed. It had a lot of early footage revealed when they did that thing with Eurogamer, and it started to look kind of mundane, kind of not what you'd expect from a PlayStation exclusive, because they've all been very rich games. But then I realized very recently a game that had the exact same feel to it was Horizon Zero Dawn. When it was first announced at E3, I remember seeing it and being like, this game looks fun, this game looks cool, great. And then I forgot about it. And then I saw a lot of gameplay of it, and I thought, this game looks like nothing. You're fighting robots in an open world. It just looks shit. It looks boring. So I forgot about it. And then I bought it on release day because of what Colin Moriarty said about it, where he was speaking very highly of it. And so I bought it. Turned out it had this rich story with this incredible lore, this world that was built so well. Like, it just ended up being one of my favorite games. It was my game of the year in 2017, and I'm not saying that Days Gone is going to do the same, but it's got that same feel to it that I had for Horizon before it announced. I don't know a lot about it. I know nothing about the story and the world. The gameplay looks like it could be good, but I'm not sure. So I'm definitely going to get this game on release, and I'll play it, I'll review it, I'll do videos, and we'll see exactly how it goes. Who knows, this could end up being one of the better games that come out this year. Could be the worst, but so can every game. So we'll give it a go and we'll see what it's like. PlayStation has never let me down so far with their recent exclusives, so this could be the first, or it could follow the trend, who knows. And the last game that I have on my list that we know of, that we have a set date for in 2019, is May the 14th with Rage 2. Another game I'm not buying, because I think it looks pretty boring. What a video this has been. Now, I think this is the part where we get on to the more interesting games, because those big games that you're really looking forward to don't have release dates, so we'll probably find out some of the release dates this year, but here's some of the games that are coming out this year that we don't know the exact dates for. The first one being Gears 5. Now, I've never played the Gears games, but I've always heard they're so good, and I think at some point I'm going to have to play them, because it's a game that Microsoft has under their belt, that Xbox has under their belt, and has done for years. That's a hugely famous franchise that I've never touched, and people always recommend me to do it. It might be something worth streaming at some point, going through the Gears franchise, but we'll see. But a lot of people are excited for Gears of War 5, and so maybe this is my chance to jump onto the franchise, play all of the games, and then play Gears 5 when it launches. Who knows? Maybe it'll be something that I really end up loving and getting invested in and think is a great franchise that's a ton of fun. Who knows? Maybe I'll give it a go. Let's see. The next one is Luigi's Mansion 3, which when this got announced, I fucking shit myself, because it's scary. That's not what I meant. I'm super excited for this game. Switch games tend to always deliver, and so I'm just super looking forward to this. I think it's going to be fantastic. I think it's going to be a ton of fun. I cannot wait for it to release. Luigi's Mansion on the GameCube was something that I loved so much, and I cannot wait for this game. I think it's going to be a ton of fun, and I'm really excited for it. Next up is Skull and Bones, which is coming out end of this year, I think. I don't think it has a release date set, but I think it's end of 2019, like November, December time. This is a game that when it was announced, I was so fucking excited for, because I wanted a pirate game from Ubisoft using the Black Flag engine for so long. But then we found out exactly what it entails. It's a multiplayer ship battle game that has small hub areas you can kind of walk around in. There's a high focus on customization in terms of your ship and your character, but you don't really do much with them. It's not really what I wanted. What I was looking for was take Black Flag, take it to the next level, remove Assassin's Creed from it, and give us a highly immersive pirate game where you can sail this huge open world, plundering ships, getting off your ship wherever you want, swimming to the bottom of the ocean. You can go to these different islands, these different towns and cities, interact with people, get quests, maybe have an online feature, but I really wanted a highly story-driven, maybe RPG-esque, immersive pirate game with fantasy elements as well, with like massive krakens and stuff and ghosts, and but that's not what we ended up getting with Skull and Bones. Who knows exactly what the game's going to be when it launches. I might check it out, but I think that I'll wait to see before doing that, and if I do, I'll probably stream it, but it's still hard to get over that disappointment of it's not exactly what I was looking for, and I thought it was when it was first announced, and so it's kind of sad. The next one is Jedi Fallen Order, Star Wars, by Respawn, the same guys behind Titanfall. We still know nothing about this game, only that it's coming out this year, which is crazy. We know that it's coming this year, but we've not even seen a trailer for it. We've not even seen a logo for it. I'm worried because of how EA has been handling Star Wars in recent years. Will this game be the Star Wars game that EA needs? I really hope so, because I've been looking for a Star Wars game for a long time. Ever since EA got a hold of Star Wars in 2013, they've done nothing with it. The Battlefront games have been terrible to mediocre at best, and I want a story-driven Star Wars experience that is a ton of fun to play. It offers what Star Wars fans want and isn't riddled with microtransactions. But this being an EA-published game, I mean, who really knows at this point what we can and can't expect from an EA game? I am hoping for the best, but expecting the worst. Who knows exactly what we're gonna get, but it's still something that I'm looking forward to because it's Star Wars. Now, the last game that's coming out in 2019 that we know is coming out in 2019, but we don't know the date for, is Outer Worlds. Although I think it's coming out this year. It might not be, but I'm pretty sure it is. That's what the internet told me anyway, so blame the internet and not me. Outer Worlds is Obsidian's new RPG, the same guys behind the original Fallout games and Fallout New Vegas. It's a game that I am super fucking excited for, and I cannot wait to see what they do with this game. I can't wait to see what it entails, and I'm looking forward to it. I trust them completely, even though we don't know a whole lot about it. It looks a ton of fun. It looks great. I can't wait to see what they do with it. No matter how it turns out, I'm sure it'll be fantastic in terms of its story and its structure and the elements that are in the game. So I'm really looking forward to Outer Worlds. I'm looking forward to seeing more of Outer Worlds, probably this year's E3. And I'm looking forward to seeing exactly what they do with it. But yeah, not too much more I can say because we don't know a whole lot. But I am really looking forward to this game, and I think a lot of you guys are as well. I actually made a video on it, which you can find. I'm not going to link it. That's a lot of work. Is it? I made a video on it. If you want to check it out, check it out. It's somewhere on my channel. It's a recent one. Relatively recent. Anyway, moving on. Now let's move on to the games that could come out in 2019. I think a few of these will, but some of them probably won't. But we'll probably find out a lot more of in 2019, and these are some of the big ones that I'm really, really looking forward to. First up, we have Ghost of Tsushima, which I think is coming out this year. I don't think it's coming out early on this year. I think it'll probably be towards the end of this year, probably midpoint to end of this year, maybe their September release, similar to where Spider-Man released this year, and I'm really looking forward to it. I think it looks absolutely fantastic. It's one of those PlayStation exclusives that it's going to be a huge game. It's going to be a fantastic game. It could be this year's Horizon Zero Dawn in terms of, it just coming out of nowhere and being absolutely phenomenal, and I'm so looking forward to it. The setting is going to be great. The gameplay looks brilliant. Story looks great. The world looks so immersive. I am so excited to see this game properly when it comes out. Jump into this world and explore feudal Japan. This looks like it's going to be absolutely phenomenal as a game. And I really cannot wait to play it. Next up is Death Stranding. Now, I think that is coming out this year. I think it'll come out end of this year, November time. I think that'll be their November release will be Death Stranding. And obviously we'll see a bit more of it this year. We've seen so much of it so far, but also nothing at all. And the more I see of it, the more I'm looking into it and getting excited for it. At first I was like, I sort of wrote it off as it's one of those weird games. It's one of those weird Kojima games. I don't want to touch it. But the more I've seen of it, the more I've been interested in it and wanting to play it. So I'm definitely going to be picking that up probably day one. And I'll play that and see what it's like. And I'm looking forward to it a fuck ton. But I think that'll be end of this year. And I think that'll probably be announced, probably at some point over the course of this year. Obviously not at E3 because Sony's not there. But who knows exactly. Who knows exactly when, but I think end of the year. Next up, we've got The Last of Us Part 2, another Sony exclusive, which I don't think is coming this year. Originally I did, but now I'm not sure. I feel maybe it'll more so be early 2020, but there's still a chance it could drop this year and could swap maybe with Death Stranding being early 2020 and Last of Us being end of 2019. Looks phenomenal. The Last of Us Part 1 obviously was a brilliant game, one of my favorite games of all time, and Naughty Dog always craft masterpieces. And so I'm looking forward again to The Last of Us Part 2, seeing more of it this year, and it can really come out whenever it's ready. I'm not in a rush to play this game. There's certain games that I'm never in a rush to play, and Naughty Dog games are always those games. So whenever it comes out, but I'm looking forward to it nonetheless, and I think it looks absolutely spectacular. Now, the last two are, different from each other, but I feel like they're sort of in a very similar category. The first one being Cyberpunk, which is not coming out this year. If it comes out this year, I will be fucking shocked, but I think it's coming 2020. But again, one of those games that looks fantastic, and we'll see a lot more of this year, probably definitely at E3. See some sort of demo possibly and a new trailer for this game. But I think that Cyberpunk is probably coming next year, but I think it'll be one of those games that gets their marketing really, really ramped up this year, especially around E3 time and probably Gamescom sort of time. So I'm really looking forward to seeing more Cyberpunk. That is another one of those games that can just come when it's ready, because CD Projekt Red always create fucking masterpieces, and so as soon as that game is ready, it can come out, but not until then. But regardless, I'm looking forward to seeing more, hearing more, whenever they decide to share, and it's going to be one of those games that's going to be, probably a game changer, like The Witcher 3 was, so I'm really looking forward to seeing what they do with Cyberpunk. And the final game I have on this list, sorry, I'm just scratching myself. The final game I have on this list is a game that we pretty much know nothing about other than partially its existence, which is the leaked Harry Potter RPG that got leaked last year. Now, it's definitely not coming this year. Definitely not. But will we see it this year? Will we see a trailer, a confirmation, a reveal? Maybe. And it's one of those games that as soon as I saw that it was a thing that was coming, I was so fucking hyped. This is a game I've been looking for so long. I've wanted a game, a fully fleshed game set in the Harry Potter universe. Not just a movie tie-in, but a full game in its own right. Similar to what Shadow of Mordor did with the Lord of the Rings franchise, but I probably prefer it on a larger scale, something a bit bigger. But that seems to be what this game is doing, and I'm really looking forward to seeing exactly the way they're tackling this, what they're doing with it. I really am excited for this because I love the Harry Potter franchise. I think it's fantastic, and it's a game, it's a franchise and a universe that really should have been turned into a proper universe long ago. I think it's strange that they've never decided to really set TV shows or games in this universe and tell their own stories outside of the Harry Potter and Fantastic Beasts movies. I think it's really strange they've never done that before, and it's one of those universes that has so much potential, and so I'm so excited to see exactly what they do with this game. There's so much they could do. It could also flop horribly. I hope it doesn't though, because I'm looking forward to it. So hopefully it does well. We'll see. We'll see exactly what happens, and maybe we'll learn more this year. I really hope we do. But for now, that's all we know for games coming in 2019. I'm sure there'll be more announced probably this year at E3. We'll find out sort of last minute, oh, there's one of these games, or there's one of these games, maybe something that'll pique my interest. And if it does, I'll be sure to make a video on it talking exactly about what I'm looking forward to and the ins and outs of the games, like I tend to do, like I did with Outer Worlds and things like that. So I'm looking forward to continuing on with this year, seeing what games are coming and talking about them when they actually do come out. I have a few other videos in the works. Like I said, my Kingdom Hearts video, I have a video on Spider-Man, which I think will be a little bit controversial, but stay tuned for that because I've been wanting to talk about this for a little while, and Insomniac's handling of DLC and the issue that causes for Spider-Man PS4 and its legacy. Along with that, bunch more streams that I'm going to be doing and things like that, so stay tuned for all those things. If you haven't already subscribed, be sure to subscribe. If you want to chuck me $1 over on patreon.com/as-always, it'd be much appreciated. Helps me out with my channel, especially in the early months of the year, January, February, March, where revenue is terrible. But that's, of course, up to you. And if you do, you get extra content, early access, things like that. It's not just giving me money for nothing. Although I suppose it'd be to support me for these things. But also, you get stuff. It's good. It's great. Trust me. I'd do it, but unfortunately, I'd run it, so I can't. What a shame. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for supporting the channel. Be sure to drop a like. Leave in the comments games you're looking forward to the most in 2019. I can't wait to get back to videos. Can't wait to get back to looking forward to games, talking about games, streaming games, and all those sorts of things. So that'll be bloody great. If you haven't already followed me on Twitter, go and do that. Links in the description. There's a bunch of links in the description. Go and check them all out. There's plenty of things that you might be interested in. Anyways, I'll see you bloody next time. Goodbye.